That happens. What's up, Jen? I didn't know if I was frozen or what was going on with my live. Nobody was commenting or saying anything, and I was asking questions, so. Okay, that's what I figured probably happened with you, but I don't know. Anyway, that's all right. I thought my live got frozen or something because Kent had left too, and then nobody came in, and I thought, well, shoot. But I see some people have came back to listen. Did you hear all the good things I was saying about you? You missed all that, didn't you? I'm gonna download that live and send it to you because I wanted you to hear some of that. He said, I did, I'm sorry, or I didn't. That's okay. I'm gonna send it to you. Or something else. I'll get it to you though. Basically, what I was saying, Jen, and let me know if you get a call again while I'm talking to you. Basically, what I was saying was that you and Kent, man, you guys, out of all the people I've met on this app, you two have been probably the most, besides Fun Talks in the beginning, you two have been more of the inspiring to me than most people have been on this app. You challenged me with my faith for sure, you know, and without even realizing, just our interactions and things like that, you strengthened my faith is what you did. And it was just, Mr. Kent, yeah, a lot of the people that have been on here, you two have really, yeah, I just sent that video to you because I thought you were listening. But luckily it's recorded, right? Because I had ate cookies earlier, and so they're taking, yeah. It's just, you know, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes that's the thing about it when we're helping other people and trying to be there for people. We don't realize it's just being kind. It's just showing love. It's just showing understanding. A lot of times people just want to know that people aren't going to push away. Think about all the people in your life. And that's with everybody. Everybody, it's okay. You know, there's been so many people I know in my life come and go. And a lot of it's because either we get so close we feel like, okay, we can't be, because we get in the close enough that we want to be open. I'm open from the get-go. You know what I mean? And it is. It's a fear of abandonment. I guess that's part of why I put it all out there in the beginning, just about say, hey, this is me. Okay? Because it can't get any worse than that. And so I bond and love quickly and deeply for people, you know? And I'm always worried that they're going to leave. So sometimes I guess I hold things back. But you and Kent both have taught me that I don't have to do that with you guys, you know? And I try to let everybody I know, all of my friends know, they don't have to do that with me. They don't have to hold back. I'm there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You need me, I'm there. You know, my wife, God comes first. Of course, God's all around. So anything I do for God, you know, so, but apart from me right there with God, my wife comes first, of course. But if I got you guys, yeah. And I used to not always put her first. I'd say, hey, put somebody else. But there's times, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. See, my thing, and I know what therapists would tell me, because most of the time I know exactly what a therapist is going to say, whatever else, because I've counseled people myself. I get to know people and to hear their stories and things like that. But I know that they tell me, because the therapist I have has told me that makes their job very easy. They pretty much, all they got to do is say, hey, well, try this, try that. You know what I mean? They're like, dang, it's easy. I wish all my patients were like you. I said, well, you think about it, all your patients are like me. You'd really be out of a job, wouldn't you? She says, yeah. But I know that's what we said. My dad died whenever I was 8 years old, and he was my best friend. He was my everything. He put me in Cub Scouts. I mean, entire life I've tried to live up to him, or of course, but there was such a short time with my dad, and I guess I assume, and when we were conditioned that way, that people are only in your life for a short time. And so because of that, I bond quickly. I put it out there quickly because I don't know how much time we got. I want to know you. I want you to know me. I want to tell you the stories I've had. I want you to hear. I want you to be proud of the videos I make. You know, same thing there. And I need to get over and watch some more of your videos because I've been lacking on that. You guys don't lack for me, but and I think it's because a lot of times I get so overwhelmed. And now they're coming to take me away. That's what's going to happen right here. See, that's what's going to happen. Oh no, they passed me up. Okay, we're all right. What's up, brother? Brother's back. Brother Ken's back. See, I've often wondered because there's this neighborhood behind me, and there's got to be another way out. That's somewhere. There's got to be. To get over into that neighborhood or whatever. But anyway, because when that train goes by, anyway, I'm getting distracted. Squirrel! Yeah, I know. They're coming to take me away. They're coming to take me away, huh? To the funny farm where life is just wonderful, I think. I don't know. That's what I hear anyway. I've been there once when I was really young. They didn't keep me. Probably should have. Yeah, my mom says that all the time too. They probably should have. Anyways. Yeah, and you know, TikTok, like I was saying about, you know, the reason I restarted the live too is because TikTok lies to me. It really does. The other day it said there was 0 people in my live up top, no pictures or nothing, but yet there was 5 different people messaging me in the comments. And see, and I'm trying to do that here, but I'm actually trying to be more, keep it light now on here, more or less, and I go over to YouTube and tell it, because over there, it's just a lot easier. I don't feel like I'm going to be knocked off or whatever else. And anyway, I'll tell you about that more later, but yeah. I like YouTube. Matter of fact, I got some videos over there I made here recently of me talking and telling some of my stories. And I try to do some of it on these TikToks, you know. I don't know if you've seen it yet or not, but I made one a couple of days ago where we were right over there by where we used to live the day I stepped out of my house and claimed my life back. And so I made a video about that area and show people where I was, that it wasn't no out in the country somewhere, nobody heard me. No, I was right there in the middle. Yeah. Yeah. Tony was there. That's when I met Tony from Alaska. He said I was the reason he stayed on TikTok, because that was so inspiring, encouraging him to be there the day I stepped out of my house and yelled and claimed my laugh back. I gotta get a hold of Fun Socks and have him send me that. I hope that, if he will, or if he still has it, I hope he still does. Oh yeah, I do too. Oh man, it was something else too, man. That day, you know, I was sitting in the house, and they've been talking to me for a while. They were talking to me for a good while about, you know, you can do it anytime you're ready, man. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. And I would go live and I talked about my stories and something like in the beginning. And there was a couple of times where he had come on there. He was on the For You page, but he recorded my live. He screen recorded some of my live, and he made some videos out of them, some TikToks. And it was so awesome that he did that for me, whatever. It was so inspiring for me and encouraging. And so that day, I'm on his live, and we're talking about, I don't know what we're talking about now. But I said, you know what, Fun Socks? I said, you've been encouraging me, man, and you made them videos, dude. I said, you believe in me so much, and you encourage me. And you guys, you sent me these group of people on this app to help me too. And God, oh my gosh, God is just working so amazing. I said, I'm going to step outside right now on live, and I'm going to claim my life back. And I got up, and man, I was shaking. And I stepped outside my front door on live, and I screamed. I don't remember exactly everything I screamed, but I was pretty much saying, and I mean, I'm not quiet. And I was like, I'm going to take my life back. I'm going to not be a prisoner in my house anymore. And I just went on and went on and on. And I said, I'm not going to. And then I slammed the door and ran inside and sat down at the table or the couch or whatever. And I was shaking. I mean, I was shaking so bad that I could have vibrated through the walls. And he was there, man. And it was so awesome. It was so amazing. It felt so good that once I calmed down, I did it again, right there on live again, twice that day on his live. I stepped outside and screamed. Probably could have waited till school traffic was done, but, you know, I really expected to get a knock at the door from an officer or something. Somebody going, you okay? Oh, my gosh, I'm amazed at it. I'm glad I didn't. Oh, my gosh, I'd have never stepped out of that house again. If somebody would have knocked on the door, I'd have never stepped out of the house again. I'd be like, nope, that's it. They heard me. They know I'm here now. Oh, my goodness. But I did. I stepped outside on his live, man. And I bet I've watched that little clip that's on my profile page of doing that, where I'm come back inside, that little clip he made. I bet I've watched that probably 1,000 times. And every single time, I can't help but cry. I can't help but be so amazed that someone believed in me so much and loved me so much. And it made me think about, of course, Jesus and that walk to the cross. And how he didn't have to do any of that. And I'm not putting anybody up there to be like, this is Jesus or anything like that, you know. Like, I'm not saying Fun Socks put him on a big old pedestal or anything, but he showed that kind of love and kindness that Jesus showed for us. That entire group that we were part of at one time, I got upset with him and got so mad with him because of some things that were going on and whatever. And whenever I went to him and me and him made things right, because that's the kind of friend I am, the entire group shunned me too. And it was so heartbreaking for me that this group, this family that I had opened up to, brought my walls down, told them my story and encouraged them. Because, you know, what is it that we fear the most when we open ourselves up to somebody? That, yes, that there'll be a way, but not just that there'll be a way, that they'll tell somebody our secrets, that they'll tell somebody our pain, and not in a nice way. They'll take advantage of that. That's what we're so worried about. To trust somebody, truly trust somebody, that takes love. The kind of love Jesus had for us. It's rare to meet that and find that in this world sometimes. So when you do find that, and because you feel it in your bones. And, you know, there's times in my life with friends I've had in my life where it was like, I'm just really enjoying it. That's what it is. But no, I feel it sometimes. Now, sometimes these people, like Eddie, are only in your life for a short time. Me and Eddie get to be so close and shared so many things. And when he passed away, that really hurt me. It really killed me. But I'm glad I had that time with him, you know? That true friendship. Oftentimes, because of the things that's happened to me in the last couple of years or whatever, that I've been going through now, that when me and Michelle are like staying on my friend's couch and the different places we've had to go or whatever, I've struggled, and I got off of where I wasn't talking to him as much. I remember the conversations about him and him. He had other friends, but most of the friends with him, just like anybody else, would push him away because he made them mad, or they didn't like the fact that he talked so much, or they didn't like the fact that he drank so much, whatever else, whatever it was, they had a problem with him. And I was the only friend that was like, listen, Eddie, I'm going to tell you right now, buddy, I don't like you drinking. But I'm not going to shun you because you are. I'm going to be there to encourage you to stop or whatever it needs to be there. And there was times where he would call me out. And I'd be like, but he'd call me out. And I'm like, you're right. And I'd call him out. And he'd be like, you're right. We had that friendship. And so whenever I didn't talk to him so much or anything else, and then the next thing I hear, he's passed. Because my well-being, my life, I mean, yes, I had things going on in my life, and he knows that, God knows that, and all that. I know he doesn't hold that against me. I guess I could go through a whole bunch about stuff about what this is right here I'm trying to say, but summing it up means I learned from that experience to seize the day when you can, especially when it comes to those people that encourage you to be a better person. The way my friend, my bestie Jen does, my bestie Mr. Kent does, the way some of the other people I know do, the way Fun Socks did that day. We have to seize that day and encourage them and help them see a brighter tomorrow. You know, every single day of my life, I'm going to be straight up, every single day, I tell God, I'm ready, Lord. You can take me right now. I'll cough so hard sometimes. And they're like, oh, dizzy or whatever. And I'm like, come on, let this be it. Let this be it. But the more and more and more that I have the encouragement and love from people that I have from you guys, the more I decide, God, if you let me have it, I'll take tomorrow. Give me tomorrow. Let me reach somebody else. Because he tells us all the time that there is going to be way more people on this earth go down than up. Sadly, that's the way it is. That's what God says it in the Bible. I don't know who that's going to be, but I'm going to ask God for every single day he'll give me, even though it's going to kill me every single day because of the pain I see in this world. I'm going to spend every single day I can to try to bring light to someone else's life. That's what brings me joy. And if I can be able to bring that light and bring that light out of them to be shining out for other people to see as well, that light to that path to God is going to be even stronger for us. It's going to be a light. Because not all is going to make it, but if I can take as much time as and I'm going to spend every time. I'm not going to wait till the last minute. I want to give my light to others as bright as I can make it for God and for us, and help bring their light out so that we can be brighter together and try to just bring as many people I can be around me, all these great, amazing people that God has put on, because there's greatness in every single one of us. Every single one of us, there's a beautiful soul. There is greatness, there is goodness. We got to believe in ourselves. We got to put our people around us. Walk with the wise. Walk with the ones that encourage you. Every single day, we should strive to bring someone a ball of light to make their day better than the other. That's why I'm always giving challenges about texting other people and things like that and telling them how much you love them, care for them. Just tell them you're thinking of them, period, because it will save someone's life, I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Don't give up so easily. It's scary out there. Let God's angels that he brings into your life, it goes both ways. It's not just one or the other, and it's not easy to figure out who those people are, but you just keep showing kindness. Those people that you show kindness, those people that want you in their life, they'll be in your life. The people that don't, they won't. It's all part of God's plan. Just continue to treat them with kindness and love and understanding. God knows. God's going to judge, not them. I'd rather people not want to be around me because being around me makes them feel like they're doing something wrong. As far as I've had people in the past tell me, every time I talk to you, I feel like I'm being judged or whatever else. And it's not because of me or whatever else. I think it's because together, when we get together, God is there. God is working on us. He's seeing our light from God, because we know from each other in our life that God is there. God is there. No, Jen, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying anybody. I'm just saying there's lots of people in my life that's been like that. God is there. And what I'm saying is, the people that feel like they can't be around me, I want to be around them more. Of course I do. But you know what? God's going to put the people that need to be in their life there. God's going to be there. I think Bopper checked out for a moment. Give him a second. I think that's what a lot of us feel. A lot of us feel misunderstood. How can anybody believe us? Believe the love we have? How can anybody, what can we do? I mean, it feels like there's nothing we can do, nothing we can say. And so we keep looking, we keep trying to find it. How? And because we do that every single time, and most of the time, well, we can get through it, but then there's those days where we just feel like, how do we keep that flame going? How do we keep the passion and the inspiration going? I think every time I ask that to myself, God says, well, I'll tell you what, how do we do that? I'm going to send Jen into your room, to your live. I'm going to have her call you. I'm going to have her text you or something. I'm going to send Kent into your live, or have him call you, or have him talk, whatever. I'm going to send this person or this person, this person. I've got all these people. And God says, look at all these people that you have on your fingers and your toes and in the air and everything else. All these people you can count right there. That's the reason. That's the encouragement. That's the love I have for you. All these people I put in your life. None of y'all are perfect. God says none of y'all are perfect. What you do to the least of your brethren, you do unto me. I love that one. Love that one. But I know nobody knows how long we have on this earth. And God tarries his way, which who knows what tarry really means. God's time is different than our time, but every day he gives us, every breath we draw, we need to we need to remember God's given us the things we just need to enjoy. I think that's probably part of my issue right now is my thing. I think, and to tell you the truth, I really think it's a big thing here is that you hear people say, well, I try to please everybody. And I do. I mean, I got so many different people on here that I respond to. I always put them, if I'm going to talk to somebody more than once or whatever else, I always go to my messages and pin them to the top. So I have 20 or 30, 40 people pinned to the top of my messages. And that's a lot of people trying to stay in contact with all the time. I try to take on too much in my life sometimes, I think. And I have to realize, hey, God's going to bring me the people, going to put me where he needs me to be. I don't need to rush it. I can be patient. Instead of waiting to get into this place or that place or go there or go here, I just need to be patient. God's going to put me in the place he needs to put me at the time he needs to put me in. So if I'm having, the other day's a perfect example of what I'm talking about, where we can take that time to give someone else our love and care. My Uncle Bobby calls me here about a week ago. Whatever, my Uncle Bobby has this prayer ministry thing he does, where every time he talks to anybody, anywhere he goes, anything, he'll ask them that they got something that he'd like to pray with them, and he'll pray with them right then and there. And I've lacked on doing that. A lot of times, a lot of us, you'll see go on Facebook or you go on here or whatever else, and you'll see somebody say, please pray for me, this and that, and we'll go, we will, I'm praying for you. And later on, we'll add them to our prayers maybe. Or we just forget about it, whatever else, go on down with our lives. But we say that. Uncle Bobby just prays right then and there like we should. The other day, I got a phone call from a uh, bill collector, I guess they were. And did I tell you about that, Jen? Because it looks like you may be the only one in here. I don't know. About the bill collector that called that I got to pray with. Yeah, it was cool. When they called, the first thing they said was, "Hi, you doing? My name is. We're looking for Wanda Hill. I'm with whatever. I'm like, who are you with?" And they said, "I'm with DNR." I was like, "Do not resuscitate." And they're like, "No." They started laughing or whatever, and I'm like, "Oh, it's good." They're like, I said, "Oh, are you a bill collector?" And she goes, "Yeah." I said, "No." I said, "Well, I'll have her call you later, maybe when she gets home or whatever." I said, I'll take a message and let her know you called anyway. I said, "But look, can I ask you a question while I have you on the phone?" And she says, "Sure, go ahead." And I said, "Oh, oh, what happened?" You there? Okay. Did you, what was, I did tell you that was that? Yeah. That was cool. That was cool. That's weird. That's weird. I don't know why I did that. Other people have said the same thing. I have no idea. Well, I tell you what, I ought to bring Cookie up here more often, but I got in a row. Huh. I didn't even touch the screen, so I don't know what happened. What would have happened? That's weird. What's going on, Molly? Yeah. And we need to. I know I don't always, but here lately I have it, and I'm still working on some things. You know what I mean? Still working on some things, but I think I got a pretty good foundation there. I just need to build from that. Right? Yeah. Oh man. So I did tell you that my son invited us to his house for Christmas, right? And if I did, I'm just excited he did. And we also found out that he's going to be able to come to my parents on Christmas Eve. So we're going to have him both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah. I really wish, and I'm praying for it, and we'll see what happens. I really wish his sister and Michelle's sister would start talking to us again. I think I really made it strong with Michelle here lately because a lot of times when you talk about her sister that's turned their kids against us and yada yada, long story. She gets so mad at her sister and upset, and of course I used to too. But I don't know. She's family, She's, even if she was family, she's part of God's creatures, and she's in our lives, and I don't know. Started thinking more about that here lately, about how things are, why they are. Realizing it's nothing I did. I understand why people have the thoughts in their heads that they have and why But it's so sad, the things that happen that people do in your life that will change the way other people see you. I don't know. Life is interesting. There's so many things in life, from the experiences in life I've had, stuff that I still haven't learned my lesson from that experience yet. Still trying to figure out what it is. That's why I do a lot of reflecting too, because I might think I know why certain things happen in my life, but doesn't mean I got it done. Sometimes God reveals the answers to us in the times He needs us to answer them. Relationships, man, those things sometimes, and the devil will work at us. The devil, that's what I love. I love the skit, guys, and I love that one about the bird cage, where it's the devil and Jesus standing there at the second part of it, and Jesus asked the devil, says, "What are you going to do with mankind? And what are you going to do with them?" And the devil says, I'm going to put things in their life they think are going to fulfill them and give them hope and, distract them from what really matters and stuff. Give them addictions and things like that. Relationships that aren't going to be the relationships that they think, but it's going to screw them up for the other relationships, Because I believe there's people, the only way for this world, why it's so narrow, why there's so little of this going to go on the way it says, is because there are evil people in the world. And that evil spreads because evil, temptation, all that is so easy. We feel weak sometimes, it's my own opinions and thoughts and everything else, but if you don't mind me talking about this, I won't mention names, even though it's only, because I don't know who all is listening or whatever else, but relationships, man, the devil puts things in our lives sometimes because he sees us vulnerable. He tempts us. Especially when we're brokenhearted. When we're brokenhearted, the devil will put things in our life, relationships in our life, to try to steer us away. And I've had several friends on this app that have tried to steer. What's going on, Channing? That have kind of made me question myself, question my faith and stuff. Now, I ain't saying that those people I met were evil people or anything else, but the devil works in us all. It's so hard to be good and kind, sometimes to do the right things, and that's because the world looks at kindness as, oh, it's a decoration, it's an awesome thing, yeah, cool, it's a love, but it's not real. They look at kindness as it's not real. It's just a passing moment. And so we need to make that kindness moment, last longer. Lasting through our whole entire life, Okay, that's a problem. That's no problem. Oh man, it's getting cold again. I warmed the car up again. See, I thought maybe that had something to do with it too, is whenever I start the car, my Bluetooth comes on the phone. So I was like, but I don't think if it's echoing or does anything or changes up or whatever else, let me know and I'll restart the live. I don't know the exact, but my car says 40 degrees. Okay. But he does. He's put me, I truly believe that this one person in my life, that she's not an evil person or anything else. She's not. But I was tempted. It's 32 there. But I was tempted, and I did not handle that situation great. And so therefore, because I didn't handle it, I paid the consequences. I ended up having no choice but to go on out of the house. I was getting out of the house at least once a week, but at that point, I had no choice but to get out of the house because of the choices I had made. Because I was going to be on the street, And this person that came with me, of course, and all that, and they had their issues and their problems too. But I needed that awful 3 months away from Michelle to really appreciate Michelle and realize she needs to be first, and I needed to change my relationship with her. And now, in my mind, in my eyes, and maybe it's just me being blinded by love or whatever else, we're stronger now than we ever have been. I constantly keep communication up with her, and I talk with her and stuff, Now, is that other person in my life no more? No. I didn't push them out, and if they ever reached out, even my wife, Michelle, knows, if they ever reached out, I would say, yeah, but they know where I stand. Michelle knows where I stand, and if I ever talk to that certain person again, Michelle will be right there. I don't expect to, but if I do, I do. Because that's who I am. I know that they were an evil person. I know they didn't mean to do the things. We worked, matter of fact, me and that person with Michelle around have worked through that. When me and Michelle was staying in the building out there in Ore City, that she ended up living right there on the same property in another house. Yeah, that's an interesting story there. But, like I said, I know she's not evil. She's got a different path. She's got a different lessons to learn. Last I heard, she's getting some help. And that's good for her. I'm glad she's getting help. I hope she gets to talk to her daughter again in her life and things like that, I pray for her when I get a chance and just ask God to keep guiding her in the right way, put the right people in her life. Doesn't have to be me. I'm only one man. I know there are more amazing people out there, and I know that because I see Channing, I see Jen, I see Ken, I see Joski, I see Freya, I see Anita. I mean, all these people. I see them. So I know there are amazing people out there that are inspirations and have God's great, amazing light that shines from them, from their kindness. I don't have to be overwhelmed and thinking that I'm the only one that thinks the way I do. I don't have to be overwhelmed. Imagine me and you, I do. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. I mean, it's what a wonderful feeling to know that there are amazing people shining their light every day. We have to keep reminding ourselves to come back with another to recharge each other. We have to recharge each other. I mean, even Jesus called some of the apostles in the garden with him for encouragement, to pray with him, to strengthen his prayer. Yes, they fell asleep, and that's probably why one of the reasons he sweat blood, but if they'd have stayed awake, that's what he needed was there. He was luckily strong enough. But could you imagine that? I've thought about that occasionally, thinking about the garden and him praying, and how he had invited them into the garden with him to pray. How he drew strength in them, because the more praying, the stronger the prayer, right? We believe that. Prayer is strong. Do you think that'd be possible if they hadn't have fallen asleep Now, yes, they were tired. Oh man, they were weak. They were hurting. They were exhausted. But do you think if they would have stayed awake, he wouldn't have sweat blood? I don't know. That's a weird thing to ask, I guess. Because Jesus, he prayed hard. I keep reminding myself about that here lately, is that even Jesus, because I thought to myself, and I'm sure a lot of people do, why pray? If God knows everything you say, you think, before you think it, before you say it, or whatever else, then why do you need to pray to him if he already knows? I used to think that a lot. I could talk to him like this, whatever. That's pretty much what prayer is. But I realized there's a difference between having a conversation with God. And there's a difference between having a conversation with God and praying. Not a lot of difference. I guess really no difference, really, when I'm going to think about it. That was kind of dumb. But there is. One of the wonderful, amazing thing that I found out, Jen, Channing, anybody else who's listening, that if I put myself out there, if I go on here and I pretty much talk like I'm talking to God, pretty much, this is that kind of what I do. That thought process you have before you go talk to somebody in your life? You think, so, okay, how do I put it? I'm going to put it like this. I'm going to say this, whatever else. That's kind of in a sense of what it is. I'm looking up here talking to God, but I'm thinking, okay, this is what I think, God. And so being able to talk to him and be able to say, maybe this here, because, God, he's going to make you question and answer your own questions, but he's going to give you the answer, but you gotta understand it. We got to understand him when God needs us to understand, But that's what I do on here. I just try to talk about But Channing will tell you more than anyone, because Channing's been on it since almost day one, just about. Been my moderator, been on almost every live I've ever had. And she'll tell you, boy, I'll ramble on a lot, but whenever I get a straight topic like I'm trying to do now on YouTube, it's a whole different experience in a sense, I think. Because I know I repeat myself a lot, but on YouTube, once I've gotten that out, I might talk about it again or refer back to it, but I got it out. I know it's there. So it's been a lot more helpful on there to be able to file my thoughts and be able to clear my head better, if that makes sense. So, you were talking before, Jen, about maybe you trying to do this, and you should. You're welcome to come up on the screen, and like Channing used to do, and it's been others that did before, come up on the screen and be there, and before, just listen to me talk, whatever else, and then whenever you decide, hey, raise your hand or something like that, and then you're like, let me put it. We can have something going on until you get used to being able to have your own thing or whatever, if you want. Or maybe it turns out to where it's a good morning, America. This is Scott and Jen in the morning. I don't know, But I was reaching out because I know Channing's gotten really busy here lately. But I was looking out for a need to find another on-screen moderator. An on-screen moderator, pretty much what they would do is they're on the screen, because I look off the screen a lot when I talk and I missed a lot of comments. Luckily now I can go back and look at the comments even after I end the live. I think that's cool. But they're there pretty much to get my attention if, it needs to be, because they monitor the comments for me, whatever. And help me stay on topic. Help me keep straight or whatever. Channing did it for quite a long time. She was a good moderator. She's a great moderator. She just don't like the fact that I don't let her block anybody. I only mute. I only let moderators mute. So, anytime you want to do that, let me know. You're welcome to. We can set times to do it or whatever else too. With me and Shannon, we always had plenty of time because I was agoraphobe and she was never leaving the house either. Coral was on there, my moderator for quite a long time too. I'm gonna take advantage of this window down real quick. I actually know Coral in real life. I met her when she was 15 years old at the flea markets with her mom and dad. She's come to stay the night at the house with my kids, and my kids gone over there to stay the night with them. Man, it's hard to believe my kids. Shoot, Thomas, 27 now, and Willow's 26. Wow. It's crazy how time flies. Hell, the grandbabies are 2 and 3 now. Still haven't seen them in person. I couldn't even hardly tell you what their names are. But, God wants me in their life. I'm supposed to be in their part of their life at all. It'll happen. And if not, I just got to trust God's got a plan. I think that's the hardest part is trusting God a lot of times with everything. God wants us to trust Him with everything. And I told Michelle, I said, there's lots of different things that I've given. And here's the thing about us. Because we're human, because we have the thoughts, we only give what we're willing to give when we're willing to give it. I don't think up until probably the right moment till we pass on it for lucky to know or whatever else, do we truly fully give it all to Him sometimes? Because as far as certain things in my life, I'll give you an example. I mean, if we fully give everything to God, we wouldn't have any fears. We wouldn't have any worries or anything else. We would trust Him for everything, and we would just spread kindness and love for everything and be happy all the days of our lives. Sounds great and amazing. We should live that way, but it just seems like it's not possible because we care. Because we care, we're going to struggle and stress over it just like Jesus did for us. A lot of people don't think about that. They don't think about how He stressed over us and everything else. Believe me, He did. If He didn't stress over us or anything, He wouldn't have sweat blood that day in the garden. He wouldn't have done the things He's done in life. Anyway, I'm not going to go off on that one, but I told Michelle, I said, about, I guess it was probably almost 10 years ago now, maybe. I stopped worrying about my finances. I mean, I worry some, of course I do. Everybody does. But as far as freaking out and going, oh my God, and drinking or what, getting that part, I don't do that. I trust God. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know God's got it. He's got it one way or the other. He puts the people in my life that needs to be there when they need to be. And whenever we were struggling, we had no way, Michelle wasn't working, I wasn't working. How we were able to do what we did, it's only by the grace of God we have been able to be where we have been. It's because God sends the people in your life when He needs them to be there. See, look at this. My cousin Tracy, man, she's still in here. When I say God sends people to you when they need to be there, I look up at Tracy because she was on my mind. That's so cool. That's so cool. But anyway, I don't worry about my finances. I don't know how. I don't know when. I don't know where. But I got to realize if God wanted me to have that, if He needed me to have money to do this or do that, He's going to provide it one way or the other. I may be that I have to ask for it. Say, hey guys, do you mind helping, or can you help us? It may be that, but God will provide. I may get like 1,000 no's, but if I give up, I'm saying, God, I don't trust you. Because God will do that. God will say it, give you the same choice, the same challenge over and 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 over again, till you realize, hey, He's got this. God has this. I trust Him. The more you trust Him, the less you have to struggle. And so I don't worry about it, Now, I'm not careless with it. I'm not going to be careless with my finances, things like that. There's not much I need or anything else. And since I don't go inside anywhere, I ain't spending no money myself anyway. If I don't think about it, I don't get it. But I trust. So even with this disability and everything else, man, I could sure use it right now. I really could. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm going, no, I can use it right now. Oh, man. But I know that whenever God needs me to have it, it'll be there. Not my time, not when I want it, and man, I want it now. But when God needs me to have it, I'll have it. And so I trust Him. And I want to trust Him in more aspects of my life that way. And I'm trying to, and I'm beginning to, just like my daughter, If I don't try, on occasion or whatever else, if I don't pray about it, if I don't do the things God puts on my mind to do, I can't expect anything to be better. My cousin Tracy right here is one of my big examples of something I'm thinking of right now. I got a little aggravated with her. And I'm going to tell you right now, Tracy, you may not even know this. I got a little aggravated with her. And the reason I got aggravated with her is because we were talking. And, man, I was loving and enjoying the conversations and things like that. And then it felt like, she just kind of just stopped talking to me for a bit. I'd reached out a couple of times. And then that's me. That's my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions I had. But she's family. I don't know if she loves me and stuff like that. But I held on to that, and I shouldn't have. That's the way we are with people in our life, though. We get so caught up in enjoying that relationship, enjoying that conversation. Sometimes, because we enjoy it so much, we think there's no way they can enjoy anybody else's relationship or friendship any more than they do mine. I'm surely the bestie, But we do. We have other people in our life that it may not be the same, but it's a different kind of friendship. It's a different kind of relationship, And we have to make sure that we just make sure that those people in our lives realize that. Not that, hey, there's other people you're not, but that we love them, that we care for them. And we'll try to be there for them when they reach out to us. But we all have different lives. We all have different paths. We all have different people in our lives that depend on us. I think my cousin Tracy actually has been a great role model in that way on certain things, whether she realizes it or not. I think, once again, it's not something that she sought out to do for me. She's just something that she wanted to do, like my friendship with you, Jen. She just sought out to do it. No, not that she sought out to do it. She just was her kind. She showed her love. She showed her kindness. She showed me that I was family, that I was important, that I wasn't somebody that was just there for a moment, There's other people come in our lives sometimes, and that's okay. We have to make sure we don't spend a long, long time away from each other, don't we, Amanda? I seen you come in here. I don't know if you're still in here or not. But I love you, Tracy, if you're still in here. I showed you are, but I haven't seen your comments. But it's just, I'm sure I went a long way around. Hey, Amanda, how you been? See, I never know when to shut up. Anybody got a comment or something? Just y'all just tune in to listen to me talk, which is fine. If that's what you need me to do, that's what I'll do. Oh, the puzzle piece come up. That was timing for it to come up. I think it's telling me I've been on too long. All right, first time again. Yay. You got no New York snow coming? I didn't know. I didn't know the details what you were doing. Oh. I love you too, sis. Well, I've been thinking about you a little bit. Just wondering how you doing. I haven't heard from you in a while. How them kiddos doing? I hope y'all have a wonderful and amazing Christmas. I know that there's a struggle going on right now with you and things in your life, but know that God's got your back, and He's going to make sure, because you're amazing, Amanda. And He knows your heart. And like I was saying earlier on here, you know, we want things when we want it, but you got to trust and know that when you'll get it when God needs you to have it. I know you don't like me talking about God either, Amanda. But you know me, I'm going to. Oh, I hope so. Oh, I don't know if I told you. I don't think you heard. I got invited, me and Michelle got invited to our son's house for Christmas. The son that stopped talking to us, that we just recently, started talking to again and all that. Yeah. This year he invited us to go to his house for Christmas. I really wish his sister would show up, but I know she's not going to. Michelle thinks they're going to cause problems, whatever. I'm like, I don't think they're going to. And if they do, we'll deal with it when they show up. We'll deal with it then. The worldly part of me, the aggravated, the dad of me, the whatever part of me, I was afraid that his aunt, Michelle's sister, was going to convince him not to let us come to his house for Christmas. And I started getting mad and upset about it. And I was like, let him change his mind about us coming out there. So I'm going to show up out there to the apartment complex. I'm going to get out of my car and I'm going to sing Christmas carols just as loud as I can. And I'm going to say, this is dedicated to Thomas in this apartment and Willow in that apartment. I just singing out loud. Yeah. That's the night that I will go to jail. That's right. You know what? They need preaching in jail too. I'll go to jail and preach in jail. The Lord said, you need to too. I do think it echoes. If you heard my story about being in jail, you know what I'm talking about. Right? I actually went in Walmart the other day. That was interesting. I'm such a weirdo. Well, then I was going to go in Walmart and see. That's I never have really thought about it. I mean, I guess I have in the past thought about something like that. But I never really thought about it in detail, you know what I mean? Of what it would insist of and all that. But now that you bring it up, that's a good idea. Oh, Walmart's crazy everywhere. Oh my goodness. Yeah, see, with the day I decided to go in, why did it have to be a holiday? I didn't think about that. But I told Michelle, I said, I want to go in there and sing loud, like Timothy did, to honor my brother, because he used to go into Walmart and sing. He said it would embarrass my mom or his wife or anything when they would go in the store. He just go singing loud and stuff like that. Michelle said she wouldn't go in there with me if I did that. But I was going to go in there and sing in Walmart, sing some Christmas carols, at least one song, loudly. Just as I'm going through on the cart, just go, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'd probably mess it all up and sing a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to Frosty the Snowman or something, be like, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer had a very shiny nose. I'd mess it all up. I'd do something weird like that or start singing it the other way. Frosty the Snowman. I'm already messing up my head. Maybe I'll do it Boyz II Men style. Frosty the Snowman. I don't know how Boyz II Men go, but maybe I'll do it Boyz II Men style. Frosty the Snowman. I don't know how Boyz II Men go, but could do Metallica, be like Frosty the Snowman. I don't know. It was weird. That was crazy. Man, I don't know how Boyz II Men go, but could do Metallica, be like Frosty the Snowman. I don't know. It was weird. That was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna stop moving around too much. I'm just sitting up here waiting on Michelle to get off here in about 6 hours. Yeah, she'll get off in 6 hours. So our dumbass is gonna be sitting in the car for 6 hours. So yeah. Oh, I should actually ask her. Nah, no big deal. No, we better do that. Okay. I already answered. See, look how quick I answered my own question in my head. I don't even remember what the question was, but I answered it. Somebody did anyway. Oh, man. Other than that, I'm not really doing much. I made a couple videos this morning with Hugo and Zoot on their accounts. They duetted each other. Or rather, Zoot duetted Hugo. And then I think Zoot's going to end up doing one side and opening up a duet for somebody to do with him, and Hugo would probably duet him. It was a whole ordeal. Then I'll have to go on my Big Scotty. That's not a bad idea, too. See, I'll do it on Hugo, one side on Hugo's. Then I'll go over to Zoot and duet Hugo's. And then I'll set it up on Hugo's to do one side so somebody can duet it. Of course, I'll go over to Hugo and duet Hugo from that. But then I'll go over to Big Scotty and I'll just do it all on one video. That'd be a lot of work, but I'll do it, dang it. I'll have fun with it. Thinking about making some videos on YouTube and see what kind of filters and see how their stuff works over there. Checking it out. I think I got like 300 and something followers on YouTube right now. It's not too bad. I keep having people come on here to tell me, they're like, I just followed you on YouTube, man. I'm like, all right. And I go over to look at YouTube and it's, so a damn person followed me. Or no new followers anyway, you know what I mean? If they do, I haven't gone on there to look very much. They do have them on there, though. You know what you can do? Here's what we'll do maybe later even. We'll go on Messenger, me and Eugene, and I'll share my screen with you, so that way I can go on YouTube and I can show you the things that I can do, and what's on there. We'll look at it together and figure it out. Well, we don't have to do that, but that looks like it's sounding like it'd be fun. I've done that before. My nephew makes some videos on there, and his videos are pretty cool. He did one with a tennis ball, where he was It was that dun, 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 whatever. And he hit the tennis ball right with the. It was so cool the way he did it. I was like, good job, nephew. Good job. He'll watch some of my videos I put on YouTube. I think he likes. Me and him can communicate that way. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know what all filters they have. I've seen him use some. But if this for some reason does go away, I need, you know what I mean? I got a new face for Dan and Hugo and away. I need, you know what I mean? I got a new face for Dan and Hugo and Zoot. You know, I guess they're going to school. You know, I guess they're going to school. And I haven't got any bad reports or anything else. Nobody's said anything to me. Nobody's called me about it. So I guess he's doing okay. I think Gary, his brother, he just goes to school and comes home and plays his game. And apparently Santa still just stays in the room all the time. I don't really know a whole lot of difference besides that. That could be some old information. I don't know. Probably try and call my lawyer later today and see if he answers the phone this time. Somebody leave a message, you'll call me back. I don't know if I need to go ahead and just get me another lawyer somewhere, or do I have to, I don't know how all that works. I mean, if he's already got something going on over there, you know what I mean? I guess I could talk to another lawyer and see. The lawyer might say, oh, no, if he's got to, let him do it. I don't know. Somebody told me, they said, oh, I know what he's doing. He's racking it up because he gets a percentage of whatever back pay I get. So he's letting it build up some of the months so that way he gets a bigger cut. And I'm like, well, he's already going to have a pretty good size one already. I mean, she was trying to retire on me or something. I don't know. I just need to be, you know, that's one thing about it too, is I haven't really felt anything. You know, sometimes you'll feel something that is like something feels off, something feels wrong, something doesn't feel right. And so then you'll work towards trying to figure that out. Well, I haven't felt like that. I just felt like I needed to trust God and trust this lawyer that he's doing what he can. I just call him every so often, you know, check in on him. And I just, you know, it is, certain people drag their feet. All right, not a problem. I need to get off here too. Michelle's fixing to come out here for her lunch. So, I love y'all. I love you. We'll talk to you later. And yeah, I'll check out YouTube here a little bit and see what exactly they got. And go from there. Talk to you later. Later, Gator.